My brother, my sister, he came from the Bassare ethnic group. Bassare.
Yoto nabiya Bassare yabti German in tungumne Kenyan Bassare TV Plus. Ni yagbel mpoka kweme in tungumne ansana dabaka majom sapaku. The charm tetem poka botte te bafi ke de kataka ti manase in tungumne benen chuta iyumbwe tana jaba nambepo netana jabo nambe ne Kenya oba obote ne manase do ke de kata in tungumne kejile ngoko ne la kwe a video ne la kwe ansa English po ne to ne la kele ta puka dakane ebia ya yi be bakagbel ina salam ban ma ka be ka jilmwe de sapwe to ka jilmwe da kayi benen chuta na jawbo ka yung da biyo Thomas Fuller to Thomas Fuller gbante wonen nan ban na salbe ce benen ya fu kati wonen po ye baka on botanan dumo ga tiwu dinyel da ba da sa da chotale wonen cha anyele pa da chotale wona saja yi English for mathematics ni na basa yi de chatel to de chatel unin cha anchi ye pa to unin pwe de dawe na kabi unga de chatel tun da katiu unin nga katiu unin pwe an fatan unin pwe an fatan we no bi aye matla nya fa uyun bune wala kan ka bence na ka tutan ma de chatel tu nga koko to meme bene ka pa da dame ka banya ka fata da tananja umbi Thomas Fuller bante na ba do ka de nyafa kumpe o chade nyel no no kwe fata unyele to mpaka unyele dunya koko bali o cha de nyel pa na de chatel jang na be doman ka chonku ka kwe yi unyele bante amba sa o chende po hial na ansa de nyel de ne ola ma ka de yi ka chenda ne to mpaka be mun dunya koko wo na salbe che ka sa de chatel po mbo plebe na be to de ta ka ba wonum pune dompo ne ko bi bil ayumbu ne po yi ucha de nyel ne te la ka dan ko chonku ko pe no ben pamba to be de anyo boyin ko tokati te nanja Thomas Fuller wonsa obasa ja nan de kayi onenyan Liberia to benin tok anyo bun ko tiwe oti be de gatle ankal ne anchube be wonte jiga an ga be de jinjika yi da nyele osalen nye da nyele ko boy ben chita school ka sa ayin tun na ka bi benye wanda ba ka chita school ta bade wannan chita school wannan ko school ba ta ba an ba ta ba amma ne da chotale ni pompa to da bi an sa ayin tun ne blado ko kwan school o ba chita school no bi aye wa cha school ko boy ka pa no chita school ye okai ba pe chai chi ba so won kara to school ya to school la jota to paka wonen ne ka de gata den ka ti beni ne de paka ayon to wono no pe kai o cha de nyel de babu ne mo se ben ne wonen labe ko kwe ne be chulle ne ka to wa monti ne ko do pe on paka tetene man se la ya ka ta ka de ne nanja Thomas Fuller o ba sa ja no sa paka an man se do ya ka to la ka de na ka de sindo ka chana ka jirwe ne kui na ta ya ba aland compone an ko de ya ka ta kunan saja bi comment section na ta kui aland home an pe si ba na do ka jirwe ko de tin in tumen njame
African historical
ya waleta matamsanga yabo.
And my brother, my sister, today I'm taking you all the way to America. From Liberia through Benin. Today we are telling the story of a great man. A man who history decided to nickname the mental calculator. My brother, my sister, today we are talking about Thomas Fuller. Thomas Fuller. Thomas is spelled Thomas. Fuller is Fuller. Thomas Fuller. And students, I want to say thank you so much. This is the young photographer of Thomas Fuller. Now he was taken as a slave at the age of 14. And look at him. He was illiterate all the life he led on earth. He lived on earth for 80 years. He was born in 1710 History tells us that he was either born in Liberia or in Benin. But it looks like Liberia is more certain. My brother, my sister, he came from the Bassare ethnic group. Bassare. Now, Bassare is predominantly located right there inside Guinea. But you can find a lot of Bassare people in so many other different African countries, including Ghana. Today, we're talking about Thomas Fuller. Oh, Jesus. Anytime I tell this story, I weep. So I decided to come into the class today with my face towel. It's going to be soaked by the end of it all. My brother, at the age of 14, he was sent into slavery. He never saw his mother again, never saw his siblings again, never saw his father again. Put on the slave ship, carried all the way across the oceans, and taken into the so-called newfound land, America. He went through so many different other countries, including the Caribbean. And when he got into the so-called newfound land, at the age of 14, reality dawned on him that he was a slave. My God, my brother, my sister, he became a slave. He arrived in America, my brother, my sister, in 1724, at the age of 14. And when he was in America as a slave, they put him out there like common goods and chattels for people to come and bargain and buy on the slave market. And a woman by name Elizabeth Cox, who lived in Alexandria, in Virginia, Elizabeth Cox, C-O-X for Cox. My brother, my sister, bought this 14-year-old and owned him, so she became the mistress. Elizabeth Cox. My brother, my sister, when he became her slave, he worked very hard. Very, very hard. In those days, slave owners could also sell slaves. They could do almost everything possible, which was impossible. My brother, my sister. But Elizabeth Cox realized that even though our hero for today, Thomas Fuller, was illiterate, he was sharp when it came to Psalms and mathematics. Arithmetic was on his fingertips. All over Virginia, Alexandria, to be specific, everybody got to know within no time that Thomas Fuller was a mathematician. My brother, my sister, this is supposed to be a portrait of Elizabeth Cox, the mistress of our hero for today, taken all the way from Liberia, Thomas Fuller. She loved him. You know why? Because she was a hater of mathematics. She couldn't calculate, and he was smart with that. He calculated everything using his mind. No pen, no book, no paper. Now it came out later, after they realized that Thomas Fuller was a walking calculator. They researched into his background and realized that the Bassare ethnic group was a group that was so endowed with mathematics. Every member of the Bassare, at a young age, you are taught how to memorize some psalms and how to be able to calculate in the twinkle of an eye. Are you listening, students? Show my hands if you are following. All right, good. Good. Amaka's hand is up. Daniel Kwame J. So those of you whose hands are not up, are you following? Oh, okay. All right, good. All right. So listen. Thomas Fuller became the mental calculator of the whole of the state of Virginia. People called him over with the permission of his mistress to come to their homes and calculate things for them using their minds. Remember that in those days there were no calculators. This was the walking calculator, calculus. Hey! He worked as a slave. And look at this photograph. After the mistress got to know how sharp and smart this person was, she decided to clothe him like this to make him look learned and smart. So many people came from all over America trying to buy him. Remember, he was a slave. They gave money more than 100 times how much Elizabeth Cox had paid for Thomas Fuller. But the woman refused each time. She always said, "He is my companion now, and I cannot sell something that is part of me." There were even occasions when people tried to kidnap him, but it didn't happen. My brother, my sister, in those days, there were some renowned mathematicians, two of them, who came all the way, my brother, my sister, to test the knowledge of this great black man by name Thomas Fuller. They were mathematicians who had degrees upon degrees in mathematics. Just like Queen Sheba went all the way, my brother, my sister, to test the knowledge and the wisdom of King Solomon. These two great mathematicians decided to also go and test the knowledge of mathematics of this great son of Africa, my brother, my sister, by name Thomas Fuller. Number one was Benjamin Rush. Now, Benjamin Rush was a physician. In other words, a doctor, medical doctor. My brother, my sister, and he was also a renowned mathematician. The second one, my brother, my sister, was called Founding Father. Founding Father, that's a name. Founding Father, Founding, and Father. My brother, my sister. Now, the founding fathers of the United States, commonly referred to simply as the founding fathers, were a group of 18th century American revolutionary leaders who united the 13 colonies. My brother, my sister. And if a man decides to call himself a founding father, then you should know the kind of person this person is. Benjamin Rush, my brother, my sister, together with Hartshorne and Kuwait, decided to come together, my brother, my sister, and go to the house of Thomas Fuller. When these mathematicians arrived there, they asked him questions, just like Queen Sheba asked Solomon. What was the first question that was asked? Number one, they asked him, and listen to the question, how many seconds are there in 1 year and a half? How many seconds are there in 1 year and a half? And it took our hero only 2 minutes at the age of 70 to answer the question. He said it's 47,304,000 seconds in 1 year and a half. The physicians had their eyes popping up, poof, 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 like buffalo puff, puff. My God. Apadini. They couldn't believe it. An illiterate. They posed the second question. And they asked, how many seconds has a man lived if he's 70 years, 17 days, and 12 hours old? Listen to this crazy question. If a man is 70 years old, 17 days, and 12 hours, how many seconds has he lived on earth? And it took him 1 minute and a half to answer this, an illiterate. What was the answer? My brother, my sister, 2,210,500,800 seconds. And when he said this, they looked at him again. And then one of the mathematicians with a degree said, "You are wrong, sir. It is too much. It's not up to this." And he looked, our hero looked at him. Remember, he couldn't speak very good English. He spoke pidgin. And how did he speak? He said, "Top massa, you forget the leap year. Top massa, you forget the leap year." The mathematician had forgotten and added the leap years. In fact, so our hero for today said, "You didn't add the leap years. That is why you claim that the figure is too big. If you add the leap years, then the figure is correct." They went back to calculating. It took them several minutes, something that took the illiterate 1.5 minutes to calculate. Bam! They started shivering. One of them was still not convinced totally. He said, "I have a third question." And what was the third question? The third question was this: if a farmer had 6 sows, you know what it means to say sow? S-O-W, that's a female pig. A female dog is a bitch. Now, a female pig, the matured one that bears the little piglets, is called a sow. Sow, S-O-W. Now, listen to the question. If a farmer has 6 sows, and each sow has 6 female pigs the first year, and they all increase in the same proportion to the end of 8 years, how many sows will the farmer then have? This time, it took 10 minutes for our hero to answer. And it was because he did not understand the English. Bam! He gave the answer. And the mathematician started running helter-skelter. Helter-skelter, giddy, 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 as if there was a tsunami. My brother, my sister, later the government of America decided that they would have to take our hero, Thomas Fuller, to school so that he'll be able to get more wisdom. But he told them, "I am glad I didn't go to school. I see a lot of scholars as fools because of the way they behave in his own ways." Remember Bob Marley said the same thing? "I am glad me never go to school. Me would have fool." My God. Thomas Fuller, at the age of 70, bam, 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 he could calculate anything. All these people, my brother, my sister, the founding fathers, great minds, they could calculate a marker's age right now in seconds and milliseconds. They could calculate the weight of a sorry-best belt without even putting it on a beam balance. My God, these are the founding fathers. They all bowed when they met Thomas Fuller. Today, my brother, my sister, we remember this great man. Even at 70 years, he was calculating these things that took the founding fathers several minutes to calculate. He became the topmost mathematician in the history of America, even though an illiterate. He died at the age of 80. My brother, my sister, in December 1790, I was not born. He died. And when he died, he had a beautiful burial And he thanked his mistress for never selling him out. He always thanked the mistress and spoke of her in high esteem. Today, my brother, my sister, we remember this great black man. America has not celebrated him enough. Africa hasn't celebrated him either. When shall we have a statue of Thomas Fuller in the Mathematics Association or even the Mathematics Department of the University of Ghana? These are the people whose statues we should have. Today we remember you, Papa. Yay, Papa Obinfo. Papa na unko school da. And so what being Obinfo. Obinfo ba kupe. Oh, Papa. Papa. Papa kasaka krawate. Papa bisi kasawate. Yeah, Papa minobeko. Yeah, Papa bisi minobeko. Papa minobeko. Papa. Yeah, Papa. Papa misi famiko wate. Papa minubeko. Papa misi minubeko wate. Yeah, Papa. Papa da min family wate. Papa misi minubeko. Yeah, Papa. Yeah, Papa. Misi famiko. Famiko wate. Papa minubeko. Yeah, Papa. In the burden of knowledge, I ask you, now that you know the story of Thomas Fuller, what would you do?